5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning. Yeah, that music means that Jim Beckett is somewhere, well, not in the area. He's on the phone, but he's on the air. And if you have a question about golf or just want to discuss something about golf, this is a good time to call. The number is 622-WOCA, the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. The show is called Let's Talk Golf. Jim Beckett is your host. He is a PGA professional and the founder of the Golf College in links of Spruce Creek South, and he's my teacher, Dan's teacher, Missy's teacher, everybody's teacher, and soon to be Charles Barkley's teacher.
Oh no!
Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good.
You're gonna do the Charles Barkley thing? You think you can fix that swing?
Did you see that?
Now,
oh yeah.
Is it coming through nice and clear? You know, I'm on a Learjet heading for the Masters right now.
Oh, you're a little early for that, aren't you, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just practice week. What do you? 3 weeks practice? Huh?
We're just doing a little tour of the course.
Oh, of course.
You know, an unrelated but related story from the fire in San Diego. A lot of the information we're getting is from that Callaway Golf.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Do you know what that is?
Oh yeah, we know what Callaway Golf is.
I do.
So
it's a big golf outfit. They sponsor Phil Mickelson most famously.
So apparently they're very close to that fire. Not good for golfing, is it?
Oh, that means the price of Callaway just went up. That's all that means. We lost a building. You have to recoup that. My golf balls are now $40 each.
Yeah, they're closing because of the wildfires.
Yeah, it's one of the larger companies.
Yeah, it is.
A good product.
Well, when those golf balls burn up, they probably explode, don't they?
No.
Do you know we run an ad for a golf ball? Have you heard the ad with that? I think it's on the network.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an Edwin Watts, Golf Now. It's one of the outlet stores, and they're just promoted. That particular commercial's for one of the golf balls. Yeah.
But it makes it seem like the ball is going to make a big difference.
Well, they all say that, right, Jim?
Yes, they do. As long as it's round and white.
Oh, it has to be white?
Racist.
Well, we say that.
Jeez.
I actually play with a colored ball. I play with a yellow ball.
Yeah, Dad does too. He likes the contrast there of the bright neon yellow.
Yep. It's sometimes easier to see, except in the fall where you have leaves.
So Dan was telling us about your educating Missy on her golf swing. What was that about?
Well, she had a little bit of misinformation, and once she had
where'd you get it from?
More clarification, she showed how that she really was.
Misinformation, huh?
Where'd she get the misinformation from?
She didn't reveal that, and I didn't ask.
So, but seriously, what did you observe, and what was going on? And Dan said it made a big difference.
Well, actually what happens is most people, when they begin golf, they think they need to hit the ball, and you do not hit it. As a matter of fact, you don't even touch it except to tee it up. The club hits it. So you're showing the person how to use the tool or the club and allow the club to do the hitting, and it's just a lot easier. Men, of course, having their athletic skill, it seems like a good idea to haul off and just see how hard you can hit it. It's difficult to do that. So the ladies team seemed to, once they get the idea, they seem to just fall right into it, and she did too. She did exceptionally well, a little better than average, and that just shows me she had an aptitude for it once she was a little more organized as to what she wanted to do. So it's the education part of it more than the training and the lesson.
Well, now from my perspective, it was an incredible experience to go from hitting zero broadside of barns to getting it from the green, onto the green, from the fairway, onto the green, consistently. Not just a lucky shot here and there, but to actually know what you're doing a little bit more. She went from nothing to something in 45 minutes. It was really impressive to watch.
Yeah, she hit about 40 balls, and once we got organized, she hit about 16 balls that would be considered a good shot even from a competent golfer. So that gave her a lot of confidence, and then she was able to relax a little bit and kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
So had she had a lesson before other than from you, Dan?
No.
So is it? But
those really weren't lessons for me. That was just hit the ball. It was more one of those.
But the reason I'm asking it that way is because is it similar to trying to teach somebody who you love how to drive a car?
Somewhat, yeah.
Guys do something different than the ladies. Guys want to use their muscle and their athleticism, and there's nothing wrong with that, except it's more difficult to do. I showed her how to use the tool and let the tool do the work, and the ladies think that's just wonderful.
Whereas I'm trying to merge the two. I'm at a point where I'm trying to merge both the athletic ability and the use of the club to make a good all-around round.
And if you didn't do that, you would be abnormal. Us guys make it harder because we have those additional resources, and to not use them just doesn't make a lot of sense.
So do all of the well-known names, the very successful golfers whose names we would recognize, do they all do it the right way, or are there some guys out there making a good living at this but doing it the wrong way?
Well, it's not necessarily the wrong way. It's just a harder way. All the guys that are using their athleticism and being a power golfer are more inconsistent. All the people that are doing it the more efficient way with more rhythm, timing, tempo, balance, and solid contact, they play more consistent, but it's not as exciting. So you see more than one way become successful. I was a basher when I was younger. I thought more power had to be the answer. And if you think that way and you don't do that, then that doesn't work either. We all go through a different maze of obstacles to get to the point where we are more comfortable and more successful.
So is it like anything else in life? If we start to learn it as a child, do we almost do it naturally when we're an adult? I mean, that happens with music.
Well, younger people process information differently. Golfers think about how good the shot is, how far it goes, how accurate it goes. The average youth is having fun and just making it go, and they don't really go into all those details. Therefore, their swing becomes more consistent from the lack of mental input. They allow it just to be like a dance or running or walking or whatever. They just do it. They make it simpler in their head. Therefore, their physical action is a little more consistent. Once they get it solid contact and get the ball going, they have fun.
So us as adults, we just screw it up with our thinking.
Well, we know what a great shot would be to have it travel a greater distance. If it's arrow straight, we're more happy with it. So we put a lot of self-imposed pressure, and rightly so, just the way we think. And that's what the evolution of more experience does, or in our case, we try to get individuals through that maze of that period of time faster and more efficient, so they start producing a better shot. So that's why I call it college. It's more education than it is physical development.
Jim, what would you say to the new person that doesn't play golf, but they'd like to start to learn? They have a little interest in it. What would you say to get them to take that next step and actually get a golf lesson before they get out there and do everything the wrong way?
Well, as a matter of fact, we have clinics every morning, and we had two people that I spoke with yesterday who have never touched a club, any club. And so I suggested that they come to today's clinic. That's where I was just prior to the call here. It starts at 9:30. And now they're being introduced at a pace they can absorb physically and mentally, and they're enjoying it already. They already have had some success in the first 20 minutes of the clinic. So if they went in for a hardcore lesson wanting to immediately hit a great shot, it would be more difficult for them. They would have less success, might even get a little frustrated with it, maybe even to the point where this is too hard, it's not fun, I don't want to do it.
Is that where you lose a lot of golfers, that frustration? Because the addiction is an instant gratification for most people. That's where the addiction comes in. I hit that one great shot. It might take me 6 months, but I can do it again.
Right. Actually, seldom will a male stop. Occasionally a female, if it's not a little more fun, might decide they're going to use their time another way. But the male usually takes the challenge on and hits it head on.
We're so predictable, aren't we?
Yeah, I know. We're terrible. Yeah.
The phone number, if you'd like to call in and be part of this conversation, is 622-WOCA. Don't let Dan and I hog it. Jim is a great resource for anybody who wants to learn more about golf. The Golf College is what we would recommend, but the phone call might start you off.
Well, yes, it will. Yes, it will. We don't have one just yet. So, Jim, I wanted to ask, I know you guys have covered this before, but I know you had the task of helping out John Travolta in his golf game. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that sort of happened by accident. I was working at the time at Dick's Sporting Goods, which also had a simulator and a way to work on clubs or make clubs or repair clubs. It was a new venture that Dick's had started, and it was the first store that they did the experiment. So one of his, I guess his managers, handlers, whatever you call them, they saw what I was doing, and the guy says to me, I think you know what you're talking about, and I think you'd be good for John. And I, of course, turned to him, and I said, John who? And he said, John Travolta, of course. Who do you think I'm talking about? And I said, well, I didn't know.
Yeah, really?
That's how it happened. He brought him over, and we did it late at night when the store was closing, and tried to not have any fanfare, although some people found out about it. But he's a pilot, and so we started talking about flying a little bit because I was relating some of the things in golf to flying. And so the 30-minute lesson turned into about an hour and a half. And he is an athlete, very intelligent, very down to earth. This is a super nice person. Has never let that glory and fame and money go to his head. Really a quality person. I really liked him a lot. Saw him twice. And he picked it up very fast, and he did very good. And as I understand it, it's now not his everyday hobby, but he plays and enjoys it now. So.
Now, I know you also taught Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds was a good player, wanted to be better, very athletic, wanted to force the issue a little bit, so he would have a wreck here and there and have to back off. That's normal when you have more athleticism, more strength, and what have you. But very good, great attitude, also a very good guy. Real good.
So, they need another foursome in tomorrow's tournament. There's two guys right there. Just get two more, and you could have the celebrity foursome.
I know, yeah. I don't think Bert's playing much golf right now, though.
We could have those two and Dan.
There we go.
Yeah, and you.
And me.
You got to have four.
Dan's already in one, though. You're already in
I'm already in one.
Yeah.
Oh, he's already in one.
I already have my foursome.
So what is this tournament?
It's at Golden Ocala tomorrow for Life South, the 5 Points of Life benefit for blood donations and things. And so tomorrow at Golden Ocala at 1 p.m. we've got TA time for that one.
Well, that'll be good. Have you played there before?
I have. Wonderful course. They've got the 3 holes from Augusta National, the replicas. So you have Amen's Corner to play in there, and so that's a nice course.
If you've ever been to the Masters, it is very much a replica. Those holes are very close to what you see up there at the Masters. They did a great job.
And does that serve the golfer in any way to have it similar to something else?
I believe that it's just an interesting thing from the golfer standpoint. I believe that obviously it's a commercial thing that you can promote. Get maybe people to come and play at least one time, or maybe join the course or whatever.
It's easier to get on Golden Ocala than it is to get on Augusta National.
Well, probably.
Did you say probably?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So today being rainy, tomorrow being nice, it's what the forecast looks like. Does rain the day before you play make a difference in the way that the golf course reacts to you or something? How do you even ask the question?
I think it's different for different people. Actually, the golf course is different every day. So you're not, even though you're playing at the same location with the same logistics, the grass is a little different, whether it's healthy, whether we're getting rain, whether it's dried out, and the height of it, how they're cutting it that way. So you're playing at the same location physically, but the golf course changes a lot. I wanted to tell you guys about something that we're running right now. We are now in the Ocala, the Star Banner newspaper, and Darren's running some specials there. On the weekend, you can pay our golf course for basically half price in the mornings, and in the afternoons for $10. And afternoon, you can play as many holes as you want up to 8 o'clock.
Wow. Yeah, the sprinklers kind of come on a little bit around there.
Automated.
Yeah.
They usually come on 2 holes, stay on them for about 8 minutes or less, maybe 6 minutes, and move on. So you do have that happening, but that's also why the course is in the condition it's in.
Oh, it's in great condition, yeah.
It's a timely issue. It's not less how much you sprinkle, but frequency and the sequence and time. So that's one little bit, but it doesn't come on until 6:30, I think.
Okay.
And
Of course, it's in shape. It really is. Our ad runs every Wednesday in the sports section of the Star Banner.
And Jim, it looks like we have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim Beckett.
Yes. Good morning, gentlemen, and Jim. On a professional tournament, how is it determined your starting position?
They do that by score. That's how the players who are playing the best play those later tee times. So on the first 2 days, they just do it where you have a morning tee time one day and an afternoon tee time the other day to make it as equal as possible. Because the weather's not always the same. Sometimes you just luck out and get the two preferred times, and sometimes you get the worst times. And after that, then they pare down to that lesser number of players, and it's by score. So the higher scores are going to go off first, and the lower scores will go off last. And part of that's for TV, of course, on the television tournaments.
All right.
Is that same principle used over in Europe?
Yes, sir. They all tend to have that format be pretty much the same. Another reason for that is all those people who attend. A lot of people want to go in and see the golfers sometimes that aren't the stars because they're pretty great golfers too, and they leave early enough to not have the traffic problems. Other golfers that only want to see the better players don't get up as early. They show up later. They watch those lower players, those better players at the tail end. So it allows that person to partake of what they want to get out of the tournament by having that format.
All right.
Okay. I enjoy your program, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the call. Did you see the story out of Arizona, the Kierland Golf Club in Scottsdale, Arizona? They're using bicycles instead of golf carts.
How does that work?
The bicycles are specially made to...
Tricycles then?
No.
2 wheels.
2 wheels. They're specially made. I don't exactly understand it, but...
Let me see that.
Have you heard about that, Jim?
I have not heard about that, and I will say good luck to them.
Yeah, no doubt.
It says not only is the bike made to carry the clubs, but the tires are made for the turf.
Yeah, they look like big fat tires, super nice wide fat tires, but yeah, I don't know. They're standing upright somehow here. I think they've got some kind of...
That'll be an interesting thing to observe. I've not heard of that. I understand someone trying something like that, but it'd be interesting to see how that works out.
Well, from a golf course perspective, no more fuel, no more electric, no more cleaning them out at the end of the day. You reduce the size of your hangar to store them all.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for the golf course itself, just how,
I'm guessing a lot of golfers, though, might not be in shape.
Well, it depends. If they have a beer holder on the front, you might be all right.
I would venture to say if we did that here in Florida, it might curtail your business up to 2/3. And I would be one of the 2/3. That's not going to happen.
It might indeed. Yeah, we're watching a little video here, and yeah, I guess for certain people it would work. Yeah, but for others, maybe they could incorporate it as a green thing and put some bikes in some, and still keep the carts though for me.
See, I'd rather have a limo.
Well, now, he's not joking. He has a cart with 8 passengers.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's the golf college limo.
The golf college limo.
Yep.
Oh, I like that.
You never saw that, Larry?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, well, I think we had it. It's a student limo so that we can take everybody out to a location if we want to change and go to another place to practice, either like the putting green or over to the sand trap or whatever. We can haul them over there.
Since you and Dan both are pilots, and since you could learn flying on a flight simulator just like you can learn golf on a golf simulator,
Absolutely.
it is... In my mind, and this correct me, nothing compares to being in the real world. But you put a lot of stock into the simulator with golf. Since you have the golf, what do you call limo? Is it better actually for the student to be out on the golf course, or does the simulator do the job?
Well, to get the final analysis, the real world is where it's all at. You will learn, the average person will learn about 3 times faster in a simulator.
Yeah.
Really?
More instant feedback.
Yeah, you get more data feedback It's air conditioned. It's comfortable, and I can't tell you why, but before I purchased the simulator for our college, that's why I worked at Dick's Sporting Goods. I wanted to see how the public perceived it. I knew what I thought about it. I thought it was great, but I now know that everybody doesn't think the same way. So when I was at Dick's Sporting Goods, I actually had my job description changed. I practically stayed in it my entire shift every day.
Really?
That's how people perceived it. They were able to get hardcore data faster. It's by far the best way to test golf clubs. To see if golf clubs are going to hit best.
So
you get additional information.
You're breaking up a little bit.
I think it's us talking
So the
over
simulator, it helps out with the putting and the sand wedge and everything like that, or is it just for drives?
You can do putting in the simulator, but we don't turn it on and we don't recommend it. On the putting green, it's a whole nother animal. The putting green, every one of them is a Mona Lisa. No matter how the superintendent does it, you've got to be on there. You've got to see the breaks. You've got to see the green, the height of the grass, how fast or slow the green's going. It's a whole nother idea. Putting is an art form all to itself. So it's done much better in the real, and the simulator is not even adequate in my opinion. You can go through the basic mechanics, but
well, you know what they say.
Really better putter.
You drive for the show and putt for the dough.
You got it. That's a pretty true analogy too.
I would imagine this is a good time of year to get started, or any time would be a good time. How do we get a hold of you? What's your number, Jim?
My number is 352-470-3876. And that's in my pocket. I carry it all the time.
And how many lessons would a person need who has never touched a club?
It's going to vary quite a bit, depending on the intensity and how they want to go. The best thing that anybody can do who has an interest, it's the most inexpensive way and the best way, is to go ahead and come to one of our clinics. That way you meet the instructors to find out if you like how they speak, what their knowledge is. You'll get a lesson while you're doing that, and you'll be in the reality. You're going to be hitting on the tee, on the green, in the sand trap, and we cover every aspect. We cover the full shots, the short shots around the green, the sand trap, the approach shots, the mid shots, and the putting. We do it all.
And just to clarify the simulator part of the education, you're there with the student. It's not like you just say to the student, all right, go in there and learn with the simulator, right? You don't let them go. You're helping them. We
never let them go at the big sporting goods, nor do we here. It's hold their hand all the way through. There's a lot of explanation, a lot of education, so that they start getting a perception so they can make decisions for themselves based on their opinion.
That's mostly because the expensive equipment, though.
It is expensive, but we don't charge extra for that. It's just part of what we do to support assisting golfers to be their best.
Jim, we missed seeing you here, but it was good to have you on the phone with us today.
It was great for me, too, and next time we'll try to do our best to be there.
All right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, not next Thursday, but I don't know what's the date. The first and third Thursdays is when Jim and possibly Darren are in the studio here with us. Right, Jim?
Yes, sir.
So go play golf, have some fun, and do it right. Get Jim to give you some lessons.
All right, Jim. Any last tips here for me for tomorrow?
Flying or golf?
Golf, Jim. Golf, Jim.
Golf. Play the shots you know you can hit, not the ones you hope you hit.
All right, so bring a pinch hitter. Got it. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you, Jim. All right, we've got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.